Okay, let's start. So today it's something regarding messaging. Is this what you have, Priyanka?
Yes,
Just confirm
we
it.
have, yeah,
Hmm. More about messaging. So inter-service messaging.
correct, this only.
Something about message queues. Okay.
Mm, Let me see. We have, what is this known as? Oh, I've forgotten some type of hooks.
Hmm. Okay. So what is this thing saying? Server A, server B, server C, server D. All are interconnected, right?
Yes.
And so see, since server A is connected with all the all the other three servers, so we saw that right yesterday. Ishita, were you there yesterday?
Um, yeah, matlab
No.
I came later,
Okay.
like at
So there
6:30.
was one point in the question saying that
Hmm.
if there are multiple servers that are interconnected, so if you're having 100 servers, then 100 ports will be used for that, right? To keep them connected. Each
Hmm.
server, see, there are four servers in this, right? Each server is connected with other servers, which means just for the connection itself, you're using three connections just to make it all interconnected, right?
Hmm.
So, but if you're using something called as message broker, each server is just supposed to connect with the message broker. That message broker will be connecting, I mean, will be doing the work. It is not required to connect every server with each other. You understand a little bit?
Yeah, got it.
Priyanka, is that fine?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. So, yeah. So, what is this message queue? Priyanka, can you read this slide and say something?
Sure.
Tell
Okay,
what is
so
important.
yeah, yeah. So multiple services message queues, they are closely coupled, running on same or closely related servers. Example, front-end, email, database, image processing. Yeah. So what is message queues is that, like you can put everything, like you can queue your messages and they'll be further distributed by the message broker to the relevant or applicable server. So some, for example, maybe some may be more having more power, more capacity. So then they can do image processing and all that. And some may be dedicated only for email processing. Some may be dedicated for database. That way you can optimize your resources actually. So then what is asynchronous message delivery? We know. Then guarantees of delivery and order transactions. So what I understand by this is that you can, whatever order, whatever transaction is there,
Yeah.
yeah, like it keeps on looking for those things. Yeah.
So, it will come in order, right? First person who gets
Yeah.
the
Correct.
thing. Huh.
Correct.
So, Ishita, what is your doubt now here? You should have some doubts.
Mm, I don't have any doubt, uh, Abhito.
Okay. So, but do you know where we use this context or examples? Where we, in which places we kind of use this?
Message queues.
Huh.
Uh, Message queues uh, like normal messaging apps and uh,
Mm-hmm. Not just
where else
messaging.
do we use it?
Yeah, not just
Wait,
messaging.
like on the like also on the web applications that we build using Flask or uh,
Good. Good. You're somewhere nearing.
I don't like exactly know the application.
Okay. Um, everything. Priyanka, you want to tell this?
See, my understanding of this is that it is practically used for everything, yeah, to
Everything,
ensure
correct.
that you can, you can work parallelly. Like for example, you have to download an image, for example, or upload an email. So what you do is you put everything in the queue. So you get a message that you have sent, or
Okay.
like your work does not stop.
Priyanka,
So
may
this
I try to
actually
say
helps
this?
you. Yeah.
Okay. So Ishita, we let's take our own example. We have our IITM server, right?
Yes.
Mm. Do you think it is just one server or many servers?
No. Many servers.
Ideally many servers. And that too, it is not many servers, that too it will be hosted in the cloud, right? Cloud means they
Hmm.
have their service providers many places, right? So we'll have South India, then you'll have something in Hyderabad, right? Some other places. US server is also there, right? So if you remember, whenever we are trying to submit our exams at the deadline, I mean not the exams, the what is it? The assignments, right?
Assignments. Yeah.
Uh, so it will be too much crowded, right? Like it will be very slow or something like that. Okay.
Hmm.
So when like 10,000 people are trying to access a resource, and if the server is not able to handle that much, okay, I mean still you will be able to upload your answers, right? It will be successful.
Huh.
Okay. So how to handle the scaling is basically you will have a message broker. So if as and when the people keep on increasing, you will just add one more server here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Or if you add one more server, it will be connected with the message broker. So if you come to the normal way without the message broker, what you have to do, you need to insert one more server, and then that server you have to connect with all the other four.
Got it. Got it.
Right. So what does message broker say? Like let's say like there are five people. Person one is asking with server A, B, C, D. Okay. Now fifth one, uh, this person is there. Okay, I mean, one more server is there, and he is asking for that. So if suppose sixth person is asking for any resource, so it will come to the message broker first, and it keeps waiting till the server is uh, till the server is free. Okay, once the server is free, the message broker will send the work to that server. So this kind of tries to avoid the what should I say the server breakdown. Kind of understood.
Got it. Huh. Got it.
When too many requests go to a server, the server will crash, right?
Got
So
it.
now let's come to this part. What is a message queue? So everyone is requesting something, right? So all those things will go and store inside of a queue. So multiple services means they are closely coupled, so they are highly interconnected. So running on same or related servers. Okay. And example front end. So they are saying that so do you remember database duplicate, I mean redundancy or something like that, raid operations and all, if you have remember,
Yeah.
right? So in that also we have seen, right, database one and database two, they will be having sharing the same resources,
Huh.
right? Whatever you have in server A, it is also present in server B, right? So server A will if you're trying to I mean extract 1 GB of a file, so server A will try to send you 50%, server B will try to send you 50%, so you will get the work done as soon as possible, right? All these things are uh, possible due to this kind of networking. Okay. And you know about the
Got it.
asynchronous, right? Yeah, you know about the
Huh.
asynchronous. And
Huh.
then guarantee of delivery. So the message broker makes sure that whoever is the client requesting it makes sure that, I mean he gets the message that he's supposed to get. And ordered transactions. So again, it's a queue, right? So we are storing in the how the request came in, and then it goes. Fine.
Yeah.
It's okay, I think, right? Yeah. Now we'll move forward. See, exactly. Here comes the public internet, which is cloud. What does it say? Internet distributed services. Okay. Or internet distributed services. No common message broker. Server exposed services for public use. Okay. May not need delivery or order guarantees. Lightweight messaging. What is this? Priyanka, any idea? Hmm? May not delivery or order guarantee.
Yeah, so see this what they're talking about is that at least whatever I've understood, yeah.
Hmm.
So see this common message broker, for example, then becomes the weak link, yeah, sort of, because if that broker breaks down, for example, yeah,
Hmm.
then the whole server can be brought down that way, yeah.
Correct.
So what the way out is that instead of that message broker has been replaced by this cloud public
Hmm.
internet, yeah. So
Hmm.
what happens is that now there is also a issue that that servers can expose services for public use, yeah. So
Hmm.
like there is also some type of security issue. So what they have done by having this public internet, you face this issue. So what they are doing, that lightweight messaging is what has been proposed and what is being followed. So lightweight, now we will learn about what is lightweight messaging, yeah, in which
Yeah, yeah.
actually you're not looking for passing too much data, yeah, just some limited. For example, most of the things we are trying to send some simple messages or simple
Straight send.
emails,
Right.
so for that lightweight messaging has been developed rather than going the usual way.
Yeah, yeah. We'll go down and see.
Hmm.
Right. Lightweight API calls. Yeah. Server exposes certain endpoints. So you know about endpoints, right, Ishita?
Yeah.
Hmm? Slash, home slash profile or
Huh,
something like
huh.
that, right? And then meant for others to push messages, not retrieve data. So push messages means post request, right?
Huh, okay.
Okay. And the request usually go through post, maybe get. Fine. Data payload may be trivial or even non-existent. Fine. That's okay, right? I mean, for a get request, you won't have any payload. You won't put anything in the body.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, to push the messages, you use a post and get us for retrieving data. Using post, you will not be able to retrieve data from the database, right? That's how they are saying. And yeah, that's what lightweight API calls means. So you are not going to send the HTML files. You're just going to send back the JSONified data. Priyanka, you're
Hmm.
okay
Yeah,
with this, right?
yeah. The only this thing is what they, but like this, what Sir explained, no, in
Mm-hmm.
this, that rather than like what we were talking, because of security issue and like what to expose to public. So the
Correct.
idea is these API calls, So what happens is, like, for example, all these apps, they actually expose only APIs to the normal publics, which you can call through, by having this push messages in your queue actually.
Hmm.
So this is what we are going. This is what he was discussing here in this. That we are basically like if you want to get or like get some data or post some data or use
Hmm.
a CRUD requests. They are not very data payload heavy. Yeah, like they are only very simple requests generally.
Hmm.
So only through API calls you can manage that.
Okay. So we have something here. So every time there is a commit push to GitHub, send a message on Google chat room. Nice. So GitHub allows you to register a URL. You create a server to receive the request and then push to GChat, right? This is basically simple automation here.
Yeah, so he was trying to explain actually here what he was
Huh?
telling, that for example, if you want to if you are working on GitHub, yeah, so ways that you create your own gchat and everything. So by
Hmm.
having these simple APIs, lightweight
Mhm.
APIs, what happens is it is automatically, yeah, some type of automation is there, that you have created a URL, whatever activity you are doing via commit there, it automatically gets posted on your gchat, yeah,
Hmm.
so that people relevant people will see, that you have updated that much, and if they want to, so that they are aware of what has happened with your at your end. So it's this type of thing he was discussing in this.
Yeah. So what I can say is, Ishita, if you remember, whenever we are some pushing it to the GitHub, some data to the GitHub, you can set turn on the message notification, right? You saying that you're gonna receive a mail.
Hmm.
Hmm? So those kind of
Hmm.
triggers, basically. So every time there is a commit pushed to GitHub, so you can have mail also. You can also now they have the option to put it into the Gchat also, right?
Okay.
So you create a server to receive the request and then push to Gchat. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So use Twilio to send several messages. Twilio calls you back when done with messages. You don't have to keep checking status from Twilio. Okay. So we want to see something here, Prem.
This actually, I don't know what he was talking about. Could
No,
not.
this Twilio, I'll show you something. So Twilio is something kind of a messaging service.
Hmm.
Okay, SMS kind of service. See, Twilio is an American-based company, and SMS, voice, video, all these things it will be sent. Okay, so use Twilio to send several messages. So we can send multiple messages at times. A Twilio calls you back when done with the messages, which means it's gonna be a asynchronous task.
Yeah, so I think you have put everything in your message queue, and when
Correct.
he's done, he will just inform you that your messages are uploaded.
Yeah. You don't have to keep checking the status from Twilio. So once it is done, it will let you know that your thing is done. So it'll
Okay,
automatically, maybe you
so
will receive an SMS or something like that.
sort of
Just like
feedback.
how we have in the GitHub,
Yeah.
right? So they are giving two examples. So when you're pushing the code to the GitHub, so for example, I'm not sure. Usually it gets pushed in a minute, right? So but what if there is some network issue or lag or something? So when you're trying to push it to the GitHub, and or let's say we can talk about uploading a video to YouTube. Okay, so it gets uploaded. After it gets uploaded, you need to receive a message saying that yes, your video has been uploaded successfully. So those kind of things can be done, right? That's what the callback is all about. I think you don't have to keep checking for the status. Is that fine, Ishita? We'll move forward. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the actual term which I was trying to say. So GChat uses something called as webhooks. Webhooks use the existing web infrastructure to send messages. Okay, I'll show you something. Okay, for example, I have this GChat. Okay, so they used. See, look at this. There's something called as manage webhooks, right?
What have you opened this? What have you opened?
This is Google Spaces.
Acha, okay.
Or if you want to take that or this. Okay, let me just take this. Do I have a rough one? This is a test one. I remember I was using this. Okay, so we can click on the manage webhooks. Okay, so I can give some name, for example, Google. Okay, and avatar URL, blah. So look at this. Now this is Google Chat.api, blah blah blah. I have something. I can copy this. This is the incoming webhook. Okay, I can view the documentation. Send messages to GChat with incoming webhooks. Okay, so pip install HTTP to lib. Guys, are you following what I'm saying here,
Yes.
Ishita?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this facility. What it is doing? HTTP lib. So using Python, I can send messages to that. See
Okay.
URL. You want me to show it to you now? Do you think it will be helpful if I do that?
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just create a rough.py file. Okay, not here.
Acha, so webhooks is basically used to automate your sending of messages. Yeah. So whenever you complete a task, like, and you want to inform, to relevant people, then like
Yeah.
sort of it gets informed. Yeah, something like that, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Or getting feedback from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So you know about this activating the virtual environment and all, right? You guys know. You should know about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we have this. What is it? Pip install http lib2. I'll just copy this only. We'll do it in 2 minutes. Don't worry. Test.py. So we have already created the webhook, if you remember, right? Avatar URL,
Yes.
the same thing which we have done. Okay, I'm copying this code, whatever they have sent. I'm pasting it here. Okay, only the webhook URL I need to change it. So they have it here, right? I'm gonna change it. Okay, instead of changing that, I'm gonna comment it and then do here, because if we do that, if there is a difference also we'll be able to identify. Okay, we have it here, right? It's fine. So all that we need to do is just call this function py. Okay, this is done, the response is there, and I got something in the chat. Okay, hello from Python script. See, it's already here.
Acha, so it has informed you, yeah, that
Yes, it has informed me.
okay, understood.
So similarly I can say
So is it only for self information, but like we saw in GitHub, right, it sort of informs others also. So it gets posted to your GChat. I
yeah,
think probably. Yeah.
you can add more people here, right?
Acha,
10, 20
acha,
people.
acha, okay, okay, understood, understood.
You can add more people here.
Okay, okay, okay. Whosoever you want them to see, they'll be able
Hmm.
to see that whatever you have posted in your GChat.
Correct.
Understood. Okay.
Got it. So
Yes.
this is some kind of, again. So now our application, we have a Python application. That application is automatically pushing messages to the Google Chat.
Hmm.
Right after, maybe we can call this function after saying that what after doing some large video upload or something like that. Got the point?
Correct.
Ishita, okay, I think, right?
Yeah, got it.
See, use the existing web infrastructure to send messages. Server to server communication. Yeah, exactly. So it was a Python server. Python server is communicating with the Google server, right? We are not pushing it directly.
Huh.
Hmm. So they are saying that this is simpler than message queues. I don't know. Let's go further. You guys want to say something here?
No.
No.
Yeah, exactly. What is a webhook? A way for an app to provide other apps with real-time information. That's correct. So we have one Python app, we have one GChat app, right? So we are providing real-time information to them. Also called a web callback or HTTP push API. Okay. So request HTTP, a regular HTTP request. Use standard HTTP protocol. Use either post or get. Sometimes called reverse API. Similar specification to regular APIs, usually only to push information or not retrieve data. Exactly. So if you see this, whatever function we have created, right? So this is not going to retrieve any data from the Google Chat, right? It is just going to send the data always. It cannot push, it cannot take it, right? See, method equal to post.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all about pushing the data. So that's what he is also talking about here. Uh, usually either post or get, but what is there? Used only to push information, not retrieve data.
Okay, but then why did they write usually either post or get?
Maybe there is some get request also.
Okay, okay.
Hmm?
Get is used very rarely, what I understood from sir. It is usually post.
Hmm. So and they are saying that they are synchronous, no store, retry, etc. may trigger other behaviors, but webhook response must be immediate. Okay. Anything else?
It's okay. See, the only thing what I want to understand is in this synchronous, if it is a
Okay.
synchronous messaging, is it that if, for example, message sending due to some whatever reason it fails, you will not get the this thing again. Yeah, it gets only triggered once probably.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
You
Yeah.
know? Okay.
Probably you can check the video later also, right, Priyanka?
Huh.
I
Okay.
mean, this is I'm just giving you a gist of what is there, nothing
Yes.
else. Okay.
Okay.
Now we have setting up a server. They have something called a HTTP bin. I don't know what is in here. Okay.
This I think similar to what you have done now. This we need not see actually. Similar to what you have done now. He was trying to
Okay.
show in GitLab the same thing, that you create a webhook and you
Hmm.
keep on getting feedbacks.
Mhm. Okay. Message contents entirely application dependent. Keep to minimum. Not meant for transfer of large amount of data. Only as a message, and that too message is going in request body. Just okay, right? It's a post message, and the message all goes in the body, right? Bot message. What is the bot message? See, the message we are trying to send, it is going in the body. That's usual normal,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Keep to minimum, and then don't transfer a lot of data. Only as a message. Okay. Entire application dependent. Okay, fine. What is this? Web hooks or machine called. So invoked by another server, not a human client. Okay. Response should be just, should just indicate status 200 for success, 400 for failure. Minimal data returned mostly will be discarded. Okay. So we have the response here. Whatever data we sent, right? We got the response here. So something. But mostly we are trying to discard it, I think. So argument text is good morning, attachment is none, threaded messages. Okay, space threading state. Okay, we are getting the state of that. Author URL, display name. So some response we are getting from the database. I mean, from that thing. Okay. So shall we go further, guys?
Yes.
yeah.
So web hoops we have seen there is something called as polling, and there is some API, and there is this. You know this, right? Pub or subscriber,
Huh.
Yeah.
publisher or subscriber.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's go one at a time. So we have web sockets, real time two-way communication. Oh, what is this? This is one way. Okay. Keep connection open. Custom protocol versus standard HTTP. So what are they saying here? So WebSocket communication is you have to keep the connection always open. So do you guys know what is a WebSocket communication? No.
Not too much. Only thing I've understood it's a two-way communication.
Yeah,
So
Priyanka. So what I can tell about that is basically you don't need to have an application or anything to communicate. Okay, only through internet you will be able to communicate. For example, mm, TMD. Okay. So if you remember, there is something called as ping. Okay,
Yes.
google.com. I don't know if it will come. See, so we're getting some responses, right? So
Huh.
this is basically kind of a WebSocket communication. So that server is also connected with the internet. Our server is also connected with the internet. Even if I give my IP address, you'll be able to, uh, ping it to me. Got it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, got it.
So this is real-time two-way communication via something I'm not sure. Or if the connection is open only, we'll be able to communicate. So this is called as a WebSocket. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Polling. What is this? Periodic request to check the status. Okay. You guys know about this? Priyanka, you want to tell about this?
I think last this thing he had told something, no?
Mm-hmm.
Week 9 lectures that polling is like, you sort of have periodic requests. Like it's whatever, for example, you send something in the message queue, then
Correct.
sort of, you get periodic requests to check the status,
Mm-hmm.
rather than this thing, like it's not like permanently not open, so it just keeps on sending requests to check the status whether there's something in the queue or not. So it's generally pull and not push. So if you will see this polling, whatever that queue, no, what I understood, we were
Yeah.
talking about pull only actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then server can be overloaded when client number
Client number
increase.
increase. So this is thing, like we saw that picture, right? So there are four servers. Okay. So if what polling does is basically after every 10 seconds or 15 seconds, it comes to the message broker and asks, okay, how many servers are free? If you're free, I'm sending you this many things, something like that. Got the point? So that's what is periodic request to check status. Periodically, it keeps on checking whether any of the server is free or not. Pull and push. So it's actually asking them. Okay, the server can be overloaded when the client number increases. Obviously, we saw that, right? When many people use the server, it gets overloaded. Okay, Ishita, can you talk about this? Something?
PubSub, okay.
Hmm.
So message queues,
But public,
but public, yeah. Like Google
public.
Cloud and Apache Kafka, etc.
Okay.
These are asynchronous and more oriented to message delivery and processing, maybe overkill.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. No, what
Uh,
I'm saying is that they're more oriented to message delivery. Okay, if you want to
uh,
process the message, then that is an overkill.
what does that mean?
Overkill means it's too much work.
Okay.
Okay, these kind of pub or sub kind of delivery, they are just for sending out the messages. We saw that, right?
Huh.
Publishing or subscribing. So just sending out the
Huh.
messages, not to process the message. If you process the message,
Huh.
then the server will be down.
See, I think in this
Yeah.
slide, no, they are only comparing what are the capabilities of webhooks and what happens in the other these methods. So they are
Mhm.
also similar. Yeah, we may get confused. Why you already have polling? Why do you need webhooks? You already have PubSub. Why do you need webhooks? So I think he's only comparing that
Yeah,
what maybe PubSub serves its purpose. Yeah, but webhooks serve a different purpose. Yeah. So
correct.
in that you
Acha.
may have processing also in PubSub, which may be not required for webhooks. I mean, if you're not only informing, then no message processing is required. So there is no
Mhm.
need for you to go for PubSub. You can go for these webhooks. So that means you have to just understand what is your requirement and use that
Appropriate.
appropriate method.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a collection. What is an API? API is a collection of endpoints. Any client can send request to API. That's correct. Usually used for retrieving data. Webhook uses a form of API more suited for pushing messages. Fine. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. How to consume a webhook? So create URL endpoint, register with the provider. So fine. Probably we need to register it with GitHub also. We'll see that later. Debugging. Debugging. Request bin dummy endpoint to receive data and see content. Now we just saw it, right? Curl or
Mm.
Hmm.
Postman API debugging tools. Yeah. So whatever we are done in the Python, right? Here we are done in the Python. The same thing you can do it with the Postman also. So have you guys heard about this ngrok?
No, I have not.
Hmm. Okay. So this ngrok is kind of a server. Okay. So it provides us with a public IP address. See the expose local development server to the internet with a minimum effort. So Priyanka, for example, I have my local machine, right? Whatever is running here, right?
Yes,
Okay. So usually it will be running in. If we get it, it will be running in what? Uh, 127.0.0.1 colon 5000, right?
yes,
Okay, this 127 is loopback address, or we can find out the IP address in command prompt, right?
yes,
IP config or something like that. If you give, okay, but this using this IP address, you won't be able to directly connect with my laptop.
correct.
You need to have some public IP address.
Acha, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you make your application usable to the public? By hosting it into to the internet.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. So if you're running a Python application in my laptop, it's not going to be public. So ngrok will give you the public IP address. So if you read this point, see public URL endpoint for private code without needing public IP.
Acha, understood. So that means whenever we will make our project, this mad2, we will need
Yeah,
to use this ngrok, no? So that, if we want
correct.
to show that anybody can use, then probably we'll have to use this ngrok type of thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Acha.
Or
Okay.
that's what we are using. What is that called as Replit? If you host it there
Or
and it's
replit.
already hosted.
Correct. Or replit. Yeah.
But only when the REPL is awake, you will be able to use that. If it goes to sleep again, it's not public, right?
Correct.
Hmm.
So I think ngrok will keep it permanently probably open. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Depends. Yeah, until your laptop doesn't get shut
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the cloud comes into picture. Cloud
Mm-hmm.
networks doesn't shut down. Okay. So how do we secure a webhook? You can restrict at IP level address. Uh, Difficult for public facing. So you use API key or access token or header. Example, GitHub token. Okay, if you see, how do we secure the Google Chat so that no one else other than me will be able to push the messages? So if you see in Google Chat, you have the key, and after that there is some token, right?
Yes.
That this token. So using this token, we can secure it. Anyhow, I'll delete it. You got the point? That's
Yes.
what they're talking about here. Ishita, okay?
In the
Yeah.
lectures, no, actually, in the lectures, he was trying to show this webhook setting na, through GitLab. So in
Mm-hmm.
there, actually, there is a method that you can just include your own token.
Okay.
So by that, you can actually, check whether it is something it is being sent by you or
Mm-hmm.
it is, being sent by some other entity. So if it
Okay.
does not carry that token, means it has not been raised by you.
Hmm.
So probably here also some method may be there to set up some type of
Yes,
token.
yes, yes. So push to client, server to server push. Server A requests some message to be sent. Okay. Server B calls back webhook after sending all messages. Exactly. See? So what is it saying is server A requests some messages to be sent. Okay. So server B calls back webhook after sending all messages.
So what there is actually, like what we saw, what you had done, you had
Mm-hmm.
pushed something, yeah, like a server, like you had done some activity, and then
Mm-hmm.
it got like on the G chat, you could see. that the message is sent. Correct? So that
Hmm,
was
hmm.
first part of it. Other part of this is that it calls back the webhook. That for example in GitLab when he showed, he said he was showing that in front of the webhook you can see that what type of post it was, and whether it was sent by you. Like it will come back with a token. So like sort of it's the feedback. So the like if you have generated some type of message for others, you will also get a feedback, that this has via that webhook, that you have using this URL you have posted something, what type of
Okay.
request it was, whether it is 200 or 400, whatever. That is for your information, correct, your consumption.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about asynchronous push to client, status updates, push notifications? Fine. Okay. Client side updates require persistent connection to or from the client. Okay. Pull versus push. Client can pull updates. Server can push updates. Means yeah, server is going to send the messages and the client is going to receive the messages. Right? Pull the updates.
Yeah.
Original HTTP spec provided no support for this. Connection is stateless and client side pull easy. Always possible to page refresh. I mean, always possible with page refresh. So ideally, this is okay, right? I mean, just something like a WhatsApp connection. So requires persistent connection to or from the client, right? We are always keeping the connection on. Okay. So client, we are pulling the message from the WhatsApp servers, right? If Ishita is sending a message to me or WhatsApp, so it's getting pushed to the server. Okay, not to my phone. So my phone, what it does is keep on doing some request to the server, saying that is there any new message? No. Is there any new message? No. Is there any new message? Yes. Who has sent it? So if there is any message, send it back to me. Something kind of that. And HTTP doesn't have like this, but that's what they're saying. Client side pull easy, always possible with a page refresh. Okay, we'll go further. Hmm. Client repeatedly sends request. What is polling? Correct. Client means what? Once again. Okay. Yeah. What is this, Priyanka? You wanna say this?
So
Or is
I
it?
think, see
Okay,
here,
go ahead.
client can be either server B, or it can be like
Or let's say let's take a simple use
basically.
case now.
Yeah,
Let's
see
our
what
take
happening
our
our
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp also, for example, yeah, the example
Hmm.
that you are giving, it's not our
Yeah.
mobile who is sending the request, yeah. It is the server that is like, where our WhatsApp is loaded, that is sending requests actually, So this is what my understanding is there. So client means wherever it has to receive, so that keeps on sending requests to check whether it has, and then it pushes on to, it is like sort of connected to the mobile somehow, and probably we get the feedback.
Hmm. Okay.
Client is the receiver, I believe, and
Yeah, Priyanka. Client is a receiver. Something, for example, my WhatsApp application in my phone.
yeah,
Okay.
yes,
And what is this polling means? So it's gonna, after with a fixed interval, it's gonna check with the internet, saying that okay, is there any new message sent to me, something like that. So this is easy to implement at the client level because we can just do a refresh. That's what we saw earlier. Okay, server may not have any updates. If the server is not having, so for example, if someone is receiving only one message per day, and if our WhatsApp is every 5 seconds, it is keep on asking the server, is there any message? Is there any message? So it's a total waste, right? Unnecessarily, you're doing a call to the server, right?
yes,
Okay. Variable interval long poll. Server blocks unit until it has something to update. Okay. Keep connection open. Data sent only when needed. Occupies server resources. Okay. This is good. So what they are saying is that server blocks until it has something to update. So until you have an update on the servers, so there will be some kind of a value, I think, true or false, Priyanka.
Yes.
Okay, so every time, only if someone is receiving a message, then they will say that update equal to true. Okay, only when the update is true, then further connections, communications will be gone. Until the update is false, it will keep on sending the same message saying that no data, something like that.
Hmm. Okay.
Data sent only when needed. Okay, good. Server sent events. Mechanisms for server to push events require web worker, service worker on client. Receive update push to page. Okay, needs more work on the server side, but true push possible. I'm not sure what he's talking here.
Yeah, even I've not heard this lecture. I have to listen, then I'll be.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So there's something called a service worker, which is salary. We have seen this right last time yesterday.
Yes, yes.
So you will have a service worker running on the background. So whenever a task is getting pushed, I'll show examples for all these things. Okay, don't worry. So push API, they are just saying set message or urgency, priority possible. So we can even set the priority for the messages, saying that send this immediately, send this little thought of slow, not a problem, something like that. Server service worker on client receives updates. Okay, these are fine. I think let's just go through this. Alternatives: Firebase could miss cloud messaging, Apple push, authenticated and registered with app, web app versus native app. Okay, you guys know the difference between web app and native app, right? Do you know?
Hmm.
Web app is something like www.google.com.
Huh.
Native app is APK file.
Acha. Okay.
YouTube.com and YouTube APK in your phone. That's a native app.
Okay.
In Mac OS, iOS, you have a different one. Even in laptop, you have .exe, right? So all
Hmm.
native means for the particular operating system.
Okay. Hmm.
Ishita, okay, somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, shall we quickly go through the practice assignments?
Yes.
Uh-huh,
Just,
okay.
just, just practice assignments. So we'll kind of understand something.
Mm.
Oh, it should be here, right? Oh, practice assignment. Yeah. It is week 10 or 9, huh? Like
10,
10.
10, 10.
Okay. Ashita, take this first one.
Okay, so which of the following is true regarding the webhooks? Okay, a webhook is also known as a REST API.
Which is
No, it's
false.
not. Yeah, was false.
Why?
Uh,
Why?
uh, it's not a REST API. Like it just gets, sorry, it just posts the
Correct.
information.
Yes. And REST API has all the other things, right? Other
Huh.
HTTP verbs. Good.
Yeah, and a webhook is sometimes referred to as a reverse API.
Which is
Uh,
true. We saw
it
that.
could be true because API is used to fetch the information, but webhook is used to provide the information.
Yeah, we saw this also in the lecture, right?
Huh.
This point was
I
given.
didn't watch the lecture for this
No, I mean just the
brief.
slides I'm saying. We saw this in the
Huh, the
slides.
slides. Yeah, yeah.
We saw it there. Go ahead.
Okay. So a webhook is generally used to retrieve information from the server and rarely used to push information. False.
False. Hmm.
Yeah, and a webhook uses HTTP protocol. True.
Good. So webhooks are used to push information to the client.
Yep.
That's fine. Okay, hope that is okay. Priyanka, take this.
One second.
Debugging a
Am I
webhook.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. So which of the following can be used to debug webhooks? So he had mentioned curl and probably insomnia. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Correct.
GraphQL, I don't think. So
No, it's not GraphQL.
yeah, GraphQL is to get back some information. No, how we use it. We send some
Mm.
query and then we will get back that information. So it is not used to
GraphQL is
debug.
not a tool, but specification or a new API standard.
Yeah.
Basically, GraphQL, it can go and search into different servers, right?
Correct. Correct.
Multiple servers.
Correct.
But curl and insomnia, it just goes to a single server. Is that fine, Ishita?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Third question is for you.
Okay. Which of the following statement is false regarding the webhooks?
Hmm.
Uh, a webhook generally uses HTTP post request method. This is true.
True.
Uh, webhooks are generally called human clients. This is false because like it said na, it is the interaction between servers, not human
Servers.
to server.
Correct. Hmm.
And then so this B is false. Then the response to the webhook should indicate the status code.
Which is true. We saw, right?
Okay.
Whether it
Huh.
is to be a 200 or 400.
Yeah, it gave that. And then
Hmm.
the response to the webhook should have minimal content in the response body.
Is it true
Okay,
or false?
so what does it returns? It returns a JSON, right?
Correct.
So yes, this is true. And then only B is false.
Hmm. And it's going to be minimal content. They said, right? The response should be minimal content, and it is already going to waste only, right? Not much out of
Huh.
much message you're going to take out of it. So it's
Acha,
just a
okay.
status message saying that yeah, your message has been successfully sent. Or if there is an
Okay.
error, it will throw error. Simple. Nothing else there.
Okay.
Webhooks typically uses HTTP post method. It should its response should indicate the status code and should have minimal content in the response. That's okay. Priyanka?
Okay. So what is true regarding WebSocket?
Hmm.
So it is the connection between client and server is always open.
Yes or no? WebSocket. We saw
Must
it, right?
be. Must be. Must be.
Yeah, exactly. It must be.
So then the connection between client and server closes as soon. So this is just ulta of the first one. So that means this is false.
Hmm.
WebSocket is a protocol layered over TCP. None of the above. Well, I don't know about this third. It should be true, but I don't know how and why.
So they are saying WebSocket is a protocol layered over TCP. Do you guys remember what the full form of TCP is? Who
I
used
had
to say
seen,
it?
but I've forgotten.
TCP full form. Transaction Control Protocol. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Oh, Transmission Control Protocol. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Transmission. Okay.
yeah. Fine. This is the basic layer, we'll say. It is used for bidirectional communications and keep the connection open throughout the communication. Got it?
Aha, so correct. Exactly used for WebSocket. I think that is,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, good. Is that fine? Ishita, you want to say, ask something there?
No.
Okay, then take this.
Which are the following statement is true regarding browser push API?
Hmm.
Okay. So it can push messages to the application only when the application is loaded on a user agent. This is
Okay,
not true. Like it pushes the message to a server, like the I don't know cloud or the what, right?
okay. So let's see this. Post API
Like
can push messages to the application even if the application is not loaded on a user agent.
But that is true,
API.
Okay.
is it?
Yeah, I mean, so the
So
first option is false, Priyanka.
Okay. Okay.
So what they're
okay,
saying is that it's like push message to the application only when the application is loaded on a user agent. So means, for example, only when your WhatsApp is connected to the internet can push messages. Is it so? No,
No.
right? So it can push messages to the application even if the application is not loaded on a user
But
agent.
here, who's the user agent actually here? That it will depend upon that.
It's
Who's
a
is
service worker, no?
so it's a server, no? So server pe acha. No, no, but that means if the application is even if the application is not loaded.
so like
Uh,
we studied about we just saw the ki we post the information to a cloud or what message broker, and then it forwards it to the servers.
Correct.
So like if the server is not in online state or what, then it just like behaves like a queue.
That's right. Okay, it puts into the queue. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand. Priyanka,
Hmm.
for example, uh, we are as we told, right, we are uploading some video to the YouTube. Okay, it's
Yes.
1 GB file. It takes like 10 minutes. Once it is uploaded, it's not, I mean, when will it send a message? It's not necessary that our phone has to be active, right? It will just push it to the message broker or service worker, saying that
Yeah.
yes, the upload has been completed. It will push it back.
Correct.
So which means that it is not necessary that the user agent or the client, I mean, uh, one who is sending the message, it's not necessary that he has to be active or online, right?
Yeah.
It can push messages to the application even if the application is not loaded on a user agent. That's what they are saying here.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay. Fine.
Maybe when you guys look at the lecture again, it might
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
clear,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Hmm.
Application should have an active service worker. That is true.
That is true. It should have. Correct.
Hmm. For the push API.
Yes.
Good. Or is it something related with the webhooks push API?
Push API is basically webhooks. Yeah.
Webhooks, right? So see, even if I'm not having my gchat open on my phone on my phone or laptop,
Hmm.
you'll still be able to send messages to this, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So probably that's the thing, I think,
Hmm.
even if the application is not loaded on a user agent.
Correct.
Okay, good. So next question, for whom is this?
Ishita. Ishita.
Ishita,
Okay.
what is this polling?
Okay. So polling is a mechanism in which a client sends a request for data repetitively after a fixed time interval.
That's correct.
Okay.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
this is correct. And then
Hmm.
response from the server can be empty,
True.
and response from the it can never be empty.
It can be empty
Okay. Can
when
be
there's
empty.
nothing to send back, saying that now we saw it earlier, right? So if a person is getting only one message in a day, right?
Huh.
So
Huh.
90% of the time, it's the server is responding with an empty message saying that you don't have a message, you don't have a message, something like
Acha,
that.
that way it means.
Acha.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Understood.
Hmm. Response from server can never be empty. No. Yeah, let's see this. Let's see the solution. Polling is a
Hmm.
mechanism in which client sends a request for message repeatedly after a fixed amount of time interval, and if the server has the message, then it will send the message, or it can send out empty response.
Okay.
Got it?
So
Yeah.
it can be empty, no?
Yeah,
So
that's
it
what.
is not. It can never be empty. It can be empty.
It can be empty. Correct. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
As because every time it is sending some response, then it's a waste of energy and transfer rate, transferring the data energy. That's a waste.
Correct.
Mhm. Go ahead, Priyanka. Next question.
Okay. Regarding webhooks, huh? What is correct for? Yeah, webhook allows two different applications to communicate with each other. I'll just go
That's
through the
true.
options first. Huh? Webhook notifies the client every time an event occurs to which client has subscribed. Webhooks provide data to the client only
The
when
second
client.
option correct.
Yes, second is correct.
Good. Yeah, we are.
First and second are correct. Third is wrong.
Webhooks provide data to the client only when the client asks for the data. No, webhook is not providing any data,
No.
right? It's
No,
just
and
pushing
whatever
the
it
message.
does, it sends automatically. So whatever it has to information it has to send, it will send
Correct.
all
It just sends it and it doesn't provide any data.
correct, correct, correct. No, even if it's a data, see, for example, you had a good morning or something, some
Correct.
small data it may have, but
Hmm.
then like uh, like it is client does not have to ask for it. It has been automated,
Hmm.
automatically will be sent to the person you are trying to send, and it will send to you the feedback. So I think
Correct.
it should be yeah automated. Yeah.
Hmm. Fine. Good. So next one, Ishita.
Okay. So which of the following is correct regarding the event-driven architecture?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not
So
sure
there
about
are,
it, but let's see that.
yeah, we did not see this in the slides.
Yeah, but still we'll
So
see what
there,
it is.
okay. So there are three main components of the architecture: event producer, event router, and event consumer. Okay.
So, which
And
says it seems to be true. In event-driven architecture, there are three main components: producer,
producer,
router, and
router, and
consumer.
consumer.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay. And then
Mm-hmm.
event producer publishes message to the event router, and event this is true. And then event router publishes the message to the event consumer, but C is false. So event producer publishes message to the event consumer. What I think how this works is like producer, router, and consumer. So basically, producer, we are the producer. Well, I'm like making an analogy. So router is like basically the broker between the producer and consumer.
Hmm. That's correct.
So this is how this is working. So producer
Hmm.
cannot directly send the message to the consumer.
Correct.
Okay.
So producer produces to the router, and router publish the message to the consumer.
Huh.
That's correct. Good. I think we saw this question earlier also, Priyanka, if you remember.
This was there in activity questions. This was
Not
there, I think, in activity
previous
questions.
previous PA also, I
Week
think PA
nine,
or GA
week
also.
nine. I think week
I remember
nine.
Yash answering this. Week
Yeah,
9, yeah.
something similar we have seen.
Okay. So we are done with the week 10 practice assignments. So was it useful for you guys?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was good. It was good.
Okay. Even though we are not able to do it completely, but still we are able to answer at least 80% of the questions, right?
Yep.
So let's not go to this graded assignment. I'm just seeing how many we have.
Almost
Probably
around
we'll,
that,
Okay.
9, 10 only, not that many.
yeah. So all these are theory based, so we just need to go through the slides also once. That's why we went there. Okay. So
So
we'll do this
today,
tomorrow. Today or tomorrow, today evening or tomorrow. I'll let you know.
actually,
Okay. Okay.
week 11 also will start क्या today? If we have the
Yeah, for the
available.
next session we'll start week 11. Correct.
ठीक है. Okay.
Whatever session.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay then, bye guys.
Yeah. Okay,
Bye
Priyanka.
bye.
Bye bye.